Before continuing on this topic of discussion, can you state your names and ages, please?
I'm Amber, age 19.
I'm Akila, age 18.
And when it comes to black on black prejudice, how do you define it as?
I define black on black prejudice as discriminatory acts or remarks against anyone within the black community.
I define black on black prejudice as violence such as gangs and discrimination between the skin tones such as dark skin versus light skin.
Okay. In today's society, do you feel that there is still a black on black hatred or prejudice against one another?
I wouldn't say it's a hatred. I feel like since that we're all categorized as the same, we try to find a way to distinguish each other. And by the skin tone thing, I think that's like the only thing you really can distinguish being a black person, unless you're talking about career paths. But being like as discriminatory, you try to look at skin tone saying that one's better than the other, or I don't like this person because they're light skinned and they're dark skinned. I think it's not hatred, it's just the fact of trying to categorize each other and distinguish each other as being different.
Do you feel there are some other factors that make black individuals put down or disrespect each other?
I feel like it comes from like incidents from the past, like maybe an argument between the person of the same race of that sort. I don't believe it has anything to do with hatred, though. I think it just comes from past incidents between individuals.
Do you feel that in any way that you're guilty of being prejudiced to anyone within your racial group?
Not me in particular, but I've heard like my friends say different things about she not liking another person because they're lighter than her or darker than her. I've heard family members say things, classmates as well.
If a black person speaks proper grammar, do you think or consider them to be acting white or stuck up?
Yeah.
Why?
Because actually you could tell the way they speak. You could tell whether they're proper or whether they're putting on. You could tell. You could tell if they're actually, and most likely they usually lead to the fact that blacks are actually try to think they're white and they're too proper.
Do you know of any black people who harbor a lot of jealousy and hate towards their own race?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
They're jealous.
Of what?
Or what's something they might have that they may want.
Are you familiar with the concept of an internalized oppression within the black racial group?
Yes, I would define internalized oppression as an oppressed people taking on the system of beliefs of their oppressor. For example, many times since African Americans historically have been oppressed by the racial majority, which would be white Americans, then oftentimes they feel like they're less than or unequal to people of other races. And they can harbor these feelings inside, and their actions will reflect in their everyday life.
I believe internalized oppression is not just the person feeling oppressed inside, but that there is oppression happening inside of the racial group itself, saying that certain blacks put down other blacks just because of, like we stated before, socioeconomic status.
What do you feel about internalized oppression? Like you may have heard black men said, we being oppressed by the white man. Where the oppression is internalized, do you think?
In a way, I feel like that's true, but at the same time, I feel like that's just an excuse for them to use, for them not to do anything.
So you think we oppress ourselves?
Sometimes.
Okay. Who would you want to work for, black or white?
Neither.
Why or why not?
Because you can never get anywhere with a black person. Because once they get up, they think, they can talk down to you. You can never get anywhere with a black person. White person, it seems like you got to be on your P's and Q's even more. Because you just...
Okay.
Nice to know you.
How about when a black person is speaking improper grammar, like we go to and they and right ya?
He's illiterate.
So how should a person talk? should a black person talk?
They should talk English slowly that you can be able to understand. Okay, this is the modern time we live in. We don't come from. You talk and all that, but hey, we could be able to speak English slowly by learning to speak better.
Are you familiar with the crabs in a barrel theory?
I don't know in that term. I mean, you put one another down?
Right.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
How do you feel about that? Do you think it's true in the black community?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know of any black people who harbor a lot of jealousy and hate towards their own race?
Really, no. Against it, I just said no.
Who would you want to work for, a white person or a black person?
Well, technically, I could work with both of them, really, but then nevertheless, it seems like to white to go to extreme to try to help you. But the black way, you will try to cut your coat if you can.
Okay. So who are you more loyal to, whites or blacks?
Well, it's two-party. I mean, I respect both parties to the fact that if I'm employed by them, to actually respect both of them. You know what I mean? Because if you know right from wrong, black or white, get you know right from wrong, and I can know right from wrong. I need to be able to work just as well, whether they're green, whether they're yellow, just as well as black and white.
Okay, being that you're a black businessman, who would you be more quick to hire, a black employee or a white employee to work for you?
Well, I don't want to seem to like partially. I feel that the person is qualified to do the job, whether it be black or white, either one.
What if you had white and black both with the same qualifications? Who would you choose?
Well, only if I could choose the black to give them a chance, because we need chances. We don't have chances because we need to work together so we can be able to be businessmen, be established, and that only way is to give them a chance.
What is your overall opinion of this whole issue of black on black prejudice?
I feel like it really needs to end because we can't move forward in the future and we can't progress and make good progress if we're hating on people of our race. We should be proud of their achievements and successes and continue to uplift them instead of bring them down.
Like Amber, I feel that this discrimination should end, but I feel also that it stems from the history of African Americans as a people, because as an entire race they were oppressed, and they're piggybacking or continuing the tradition that they lived back in the past by developing it into a different form of, say, slavery. It's like their minds are still enslaved instead of, yeah, we may not be physically bound with shackles and stuff, but because of this black on black discrimination, we're living in a slave mindset, which that needs to end, because if we don't, we will never progress as a people. Every other minority in this country is growing. Mexicans, for an example, they can come to this country, live together, however many. We may pick at them about it, but they are working together as a whole to progress their people. But blacks, on the other hand, it's a form of slavery still, because yes, we are free, but we are making life more difficult for ourselves by not helping each other, but by causing this division.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.